Okay, for those of you returning, welcome back to the channel. And for those of you that are new here, then thank you for joining me. Here is my very late review of the brand new teaser trailer for Jurassic World Rebirth, one of my anticipated movies of the year. I'm a big fan of the Jurassic Park franchise. I don't love every Jurassic Park movie, but they are movies. It's a series that will always hold a special place in my heart because of the love that I do have for that very first movie directed by Steven Spielberg that came out back in 1993. I was 5 years old and it was the first movie that I ever watched in the cinema. And it was one of those movies, it was the movie really, that gave birth to my love of film. It's a film that absolutely terrified me, but also just captured my imagination. I was in awe at what I was witnessing come to life within the frame. And ever since watching Jurassic Park for the first time in the cinema, I fell in love with not only dinosaurs, but I fell in love with film. And so, yeah, I will always be excited for these movies. And the teaser trailer dropped last week. And I'm a little bit late, like I said, getting around to this. But I really wanted to share with you all my thoughts on this teaser trailer. And if you can call it a teaser trailer, because I feel like it gives... It's a bit of a it's almost like a teaser trailer and a trailer, because a teaser should really only give you a sort of a glimpse into the tone and sort of the mood and sort of, you know, kind of a little glimpse into the overall look and feel, the atmosphere and vibe of the movie. And then you would get a trailer then that gives you a little bit more insight into what to expect with the story. Yet the teaser kind of does both. Yeah. So yeah, enough rambling from me. Let's jump straight into this teaser trailer for Jurassic World Rebirth. Okay, and here we go. Oh, first of all, by the way, I just want to mention, obviously, Gareth Edwards is directing this, and that got me really, really excited. I'm a big fan of Gareth Edwards as a director. I absolutely loved what he did with Rogue One, as well as the first Godzilla movie in the Monsterverse. So when they announced that Gareth Edwards was on board, I was really excited, because I think he does a fantastic job at sort of really capturing a true sense of scale within his movies when it comes to having these big creatures like Godzilla, and just moments like with Rogue One where you've got everyone sort of running on the beach and you've got these giant AT-ATs in the background and stuff. He does a really good job at capturing that true sense of scale with how he shoots his movies. And so, yeah, absolutely thrilled that he's on board here directing the new Jurassic World movie. And just to start off, I absolutely love this opening shot here where you've got them sort of lowering the banner when dinosaurs ruled the earth behind the skeleton of a T-Rex. Now this scene, this moment immediately taps into the nostalgia, especially for people like myself, where, you know, it's a nod really to that moment in the first Jurassic Park movie. It's a fucking beautiful moment, an absolute epic moment where you have the T-Rex roaring and the banner sort of dropping, and it's just the way that entire scene is constructed. It's just perfect. And you've got a moment that kind of mirrors that.
Dr. Henry Loomis, this is Zora Bennett.
We got Scarlett Johansson here. I'm really looking forward to seeing how she brings this character to life within this movie, within this next installment.
Mission specialist. Sorry, what mission?
Jonathan Bailey here. And the one thing I really like about Jonathan Bailey in this trailer is how he's bringing the character to life, but how he delivers his lines. And there's a couple of moments with humour, which we'll get by you now. And I can't say at the moment, I don't know, I'm not sure how I feel about the humour. But what really kind of helps it or aids it for me is how it's delivered by actors like Jonathan Bailey.
This would be a medical breakthrough that could save countless lives.
Now, great scene, great moment. This moment kind of with the long grass takes me back to The Lost World. Jurassic Park, The Lost World. And also, and this might just be me here, but I'm getting this kind of very orangey, sort of brown hue or filter when it comes to sort of the look, when it comes to the cinematography and the colour palette. It's almost like a browny orange filter. And I'm not entirely sure how I feel about that. It kind of feels forced or sort of unnatural, and I'm not sure if that's just me. But it also at the same time looks like a Gareth Edwards movie. But I also feel like through the colour palette and through the cinematography, as well as a couple of moments that we get a glimpse at now coming up in the trailer, it also has a very kind of adventure sort of feel to it. It has a kind of very classic, sort of almost like a 20s, 30s, 40s classic adventure movie feel to it, where you got like those black and white movies like The Lost World, for example. It has that kind of vibe to it, I think. Well, that might just be me, I don't know, but it also takes me back a little bit to The Lost World.
It comes from the largest dinosaurs on the planet.
Oh my god.
Fortunately for us,
I'm not sure how I feel at the moment about the CGI. It's okay, but again, it's nothing. I mean, there's moments with CGI in that original Jurassic Park that are 1,000 times better than what we're seeing today in these movies, and it looks like a nice moment, but I don't know about the CGI at this point.
all these species exist in one isolated place. Can you be ready tomorrow?
I can guarantee your safety. I mean, more or less.
More or less?
See, so you've got that kind of like the humor, or sort of like it's giving us a glimpse into what to expect with the humor, and I don't know at the moment. I'm a pretty fussy person when it comes to humor, and but at the moment, for me, what's, like I said, what's kind of saving it, or what's sort of helping it not be too cringy, perhaps, is the delivery from the actors like Scarlett Johansson and Jonathan Bailey. And I really like how Jonathan Bailey delivers his lines throughout this trailer.
He's your guy?
We're the best.
Mahershala Ali there.
Places they shouldn't be.
Big fan of him. I'm glad to see him here in this movie. I'm looking forward to seeing how he brings his character to life.
Not that many anymore.
Why's that?
No one's dumb enough to go where we're going.
See, it has this kind of
Research facility.
almost like an indie, it's an adventure feel to it, and that's got me quite excited. I'm really sort of looking forward to that aspect of this movie, or at least that's how it looks from the glimpse that we get in you. And again, it's kind of capturing a sort of the Lost World, Steven Spielberg's Lost World vibe.
For the original Jurassic Park.
We need DNA from the 3 biggest dinosaurs. Do we have?
See, I love, you get in sort of glimpses here, and you sort of get in sort of see how Gareth Edwards shoots his movies. This shot by F, for example, and he does this quite a lot in his movies when it comes to creating that sense of scale. And you've got our character here, Scarlett Johansson, and I just think it does a really good job at creating that true sense of scale.
To get a sample from an egg?
And again, moments like this with Jonathan Bailey's character, and you get like this temple coming up.
With our flying
It has,
an F-16.
I would even say, a Peter Jackson's King Kong look to it.
Maybe we should make it.
Or Indiana Jones, Tomb Raider. Love this shot here with Jonathan Bailey sort of just looking, because obviously something have just passed him there. And again, kind of what I'm hoping for, because it's an aspect that I really liked about The Lost World, is the horror element. I am hoping for something perhaps a little darker, a little bit more of that horror. It's something that I've always liked about these, when it comes to these movies, that we sort of get those moments of horror, and I've always desired to have just an R-rated Jurassic Park film where you've got a group of people being hunted by these velociraptors, and yeah, you get the T-Rex and that as well. But I've always desired something very R-rated when it comes to these movies. But a lot of that stems from how Steven Spielberg just did a fantastic job at creating the horror within those first 2 movies. with them still retaining a PG rating. I mean, the fucking first movie terrified the life out of me. But yeah, back to the trailer. So this shot by ad does not sit right with me. There's something just about this. And again, this is one of those moments in the trailer that kind of gets me a little bit worried when it comes to the effects. There's just something not quite working for me with this moment. But, you know, it's just a teaser.
These dinosaurs were too dangerous for the original.
I love the good old flares. Really effective with the moments of horror.
Park.
Please don't say they're raptors. They're raptors.
See, I love how, like, Jonathan Bailey seems to be doing a very good job at not only delivering with the humor, but also delivering with the horror as well. And I just love that moment there where you can actually feel the weight behind the Velociraptor walking. And again, it looks like a practical creature that's being used on the set. I'm really hoping for a lot of practical effects here and not too much of a reliance on CGI.
The worst of the worst. We're left here.
Okay, so we get a glimpse of the new big bad creature.
We put ourselves in a place we don't belong.
There we are. And this is where I'm a little bit concerned, but I'm also a little bit hopeful. Now, what's got me a little bit worried is I hope we're just not going down the same route that we've already been down before. It worked beautifully with the first Jurassic World movie. I think what that movie did, I'm a big fan of the first Jurassic World film because it did a fantastic job at tapping into the nostalgia and just taking you back to being a kid again, watching Jurassic Park. And what they did in that third act, where you've got this engineered creature that's just been brought to life to sort of bring more people into the park because people are just getting tired and bored of sort of the traditional attractions, really, like the T-Rex. And sort of I kind of like that angle when it came to the commercialism side and sort of the greedy business side of the story. And how it successfully tapped into the nostalgia by pitting that classic T-Rex that we all know and love and grew up with that original movie and pitted it against this sort of, you know, this freak of nature, this engineered creature that's just designed to bring in more money. And I think how they did that within the Jurassic World and within the third act of that movie was amazing. It was brilliant. I absolutely loved it. You know, it managed in that moment, in that third act, in that climax, you know, it actually made me emotional and it was fun. It was thrilling. But then we had somewhat of the same thing again in Dominion, but it just felt lazy. And so this is why I'm a little bit concerned, but at the same time, like, this could perhaps tap more into the science and the DNA and sort of, you know, the troubles, the trials and errors that they had with the scientists trying to bring these creatures back from the dead. You know, this could be something that we've not seen before in terms of the story, and we hopefully will get something new and different and kind of tap in, sort of dive more into the science element of the story and not just have another moment, hopefully, where we have this big thing that looks like a Rancor from Star Wars, just go up against the T-Rex again, because we've had that. It worked beautifully with Colin Trevorrow's Jurassic World, and I don't want it again. So great moment there with the T-Rex and
Survival is a long shot.
What the hell are those?
They're helping the mosasaur.
and Scarlett Johansson just looks the part. Yeah, I think.
None of what you just
Yeah,
said
I'm
is
really
good.
looking forward. I think the cast is great, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the cast bring these characters to life. The classic theme there, tapping into that nostalgia for you. So yeah, I like it. I like the trailer. There's a lot that's got me hopeful, interested, like in sort of that adventure look and feel. But I do have some minor concerns with it, and it's not necessarily a trailer that kind of blew me away either. This for me wasn't an Alien Romulus trailer, or even a 28 years later trailer. It's not quite there with those trailers that we've had over the last year, which have blown me away. So yeah. Like I said, I liked the trailer. It didn't blow me away. I got kind of minor nitpicky sort of issues. You know what I mean? Minor gripes. I mean, when it comes to sort of the filter or the sort of the orange kind of sort of browny colour palette or hue that's running throughout the film, I'm not sure how I feel about that at the moment, but at the same time, it kind of gives you that sort of very kind of traditional, old-fashioned, almost retro adventure feel, which I like. You know, it kind of immediately take me back to perhaps movies like The Lost World, as well as sort of the, you know, the black and white movies from the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, those good, you know, those classic adventure films. It's kind of got that vibe about it. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how the cast bring the characters to life. I mean, Jonathan Bailey looks great. He delivers the lines in a way that feels natural, and I just like how he's bringing his character to life. Same as Scarlett Johansson. It has a fun adventure kind of vibe to it. But it's a weird trailer. I'm not a massive fan of how the trailer was constructed. It's a bit awkward in many ways, and like I said, it's not really a traditional teaser trailer, and perhaps the studio are like, they just hoping that people sort of come in their masses to, you know, watch this film, because every Jurassic Park film or Jurassic World movie has made a hell of a lot of money. And these are big, you know, money makers for the studio, and perhaps they're getting a little bit, I don't know, anxious maybe. And so, yeah, when it comes to trailers, it's not the best, and I think that's one of the reasons why it hasn't blown me away. But there are so many elements within this movie when it comes to the director, the writer, the cast, you know, the ingredients are there. And the CGI doesn't look that great, but hopefully it's not 100% finished. But at the same time, I just don't know what's going on with CGI these days. You know, there are moments in that original movie that are just sort of 1,000 times better and feel and look more real, have a hell of a lot more weight to them than CGI creatures and entities in movies today. Again, I'm sort of, what I'm really hoping for, actually, and perhaps we get a little bit of insight into this, is the science, sort of diving more into the science aspect of the story. And I think we kind of get that maybe with the creature, that big sort of entity there, that kind of looks like the Rancor. But I just hope it doesn't try to imitate too much of what we had before as well, because depending on how that's done, it might not just work. And like I said, just going back to sort of the concerns I have of sort of imitating what's come before, you know, when it comes to really tapping into nostalgia and just taking you back to watching those original movies, Jurassic World did a fantastic job with that. I'm a big supporter of that movie. I'm a massive fan of it. I loved it. And then the sequels that we had afterwards sort of deteriorated a little bit in quality. I mean, Dominion was a massive shower of shit. But, so yeah, enough rambling on from me. What did you guys think? What do you guys think of this teaser, this glimpse into Jurassic World Rebirth? Are you liking it? Are you worried? Are you concerned about anything? Do you agree or disagree with anything I've said? And please let me know in the comments below, and let's get a discussion going. And if you've made it this far into this video where I have rambled on a hell of a lot, and you would like to follow just some random Welsh geek rambling on about film, then please hit that subscribe button. It will mean an awful lot to me. My next video will be a movie review of Captain America: Brave New World. I actually forgot the fucking name of the movie, but I knew it was a Captain America, but I forgot that it was Brave New World. But yeah, I'm looking forward to checking it out. I'm not a massive fan of Marvel. I enjoy the Marvel movies, and I'm kind of liking at the moment when it comes to the trailers, the sort of almost like a retro 90s thriller look to it that I'm digging. And so yeah, I'm catching that on Friday, and that'll be my next movie review. So yeah, enough rambling on from me. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'll be catching you guys soon.